Here's my audience. You ready? Blind, deaf, educator, and humanitarian. Helen Keller overcame her adversities and gave the world a new perspective on the blind and deaf community. Helen Keller was born with full sight and hearing, but after contracting fever of the brain, Helen lost both her sight and hearing at 19 months. However difficult at times, Helen's family aided her in her thirst for knowledge and were bound to not let these difficulties hold her back. Because of Helen's persistence, she has changed the way society feels for not only those who are deaf and blind, but for those of all disabilities. Helen Keller embraced her misfortunes and did not let them hold her back. Instead, she became the voice for those around the world of all disabilities. Helen Keller was the first ever blind or deaf person to graduate with a Bachelor of Arts degree. Although at times many people doubted Helen and her abilities to complete a formal education, she did not let them hold her back. With the help of Anne Sullivan, Helen's teacher and interpreter, Helen was able to complete her Bachelor of Arts degree from Radcliffe University. Helen brought a newfound hope to the blind and deaf community, expressing to them that anything is possible and that a disability should never hold you back from pursuing your dreams. Helen Keller was also one of the founding members of the first agency to ever provide services to the blind. Because of Helen's hard work and dedication to the blind and deaf community, Massachusetts Commission for the Blind still exists and continues to help those less fortunate. Helen was determined to make a difference and to make dreams more achievable for the blind and the deaf. Helen volunteered and worked for many agencies that benefited the blind and deaf community, often advocating for their rights. However, she didn't stop there. In hopes to reach more people and to gain overall acceptance in society, Helen Keller went on a 35-country tour. Helen took this opportunity to spread knowledge throughout the countries and globe for blind and deaf awareness. Helen used her position at the American Foundation for the Blind as a platform and began shaping the minds of millions across the globe. Helen also embarked on a tour of kindness, making stops at many hospitals, visiting veterans who had lost their sight in battle. Instilling in them hope and love, Helen reached many victims of war violence. Helen Keller will forever be remembered as an iconic woman in American history for her kindness, passion, and knowledge. She embarked on a lifetime pursuit to conquer her dreams by changing the world's thoughts and perspectives for those with disabilities. Although at times it may go unnoticed, Helen Keller has shaped our society for both those with disabilities and those without. Helen Keller brought the world knowledge in a way that the world is now more accepting of all. Helen Keller has paved the way for the blind and deaf community, instilling organizations and agencies with the tools and skills to help others like her. Without her contributions, passion, and persistence, there is no telling if these organizations would exist today.